scientist came up with this. It has a unique background, because the way it was actually discovered was, if you recall, Eddie, Martha Stewart and why she went to jail over a particular cancer drug.
It was insider trading. It was a specific. I remembered her going to jail for insider trading. I didn't remember what the insider trading was about.
Yes, well, this particular medicine actually contained alpha-gal, and people who were taking it were having reactions. They were either dying or ending up in ICU. When they start looking at that,
and this is just out of the blue, they're issuing it as a cancer drug,
right,
and it's something completely different's going on.
Yes,
right?
And people are dying. So they determined it was this alpha-gal, or galactose alpha 1,3 galactose, or for short alpha-gal.
Okay.
And at the same time,
you're talking to me. Shorten it and simplify it.
I will.
Okay.
So they were at the University of Virginia. They had this other group of people who were saying, "Hey, I'm getting sick, and I think it might be to red meat. We're not sure." When you look at red meat, mammalian meat, I shouldn't say red meat, mammalian meat, that would be beef, pork, lamb,
right,
deer.
All the good stuff.
Yeah, all the good stuff, yeah. Bison. It all contains this alpha-gal 1,3 sugar. But if you ask any doctor, because of the way they were trained, they will say all allergies are protein-based. This is the first known allergy to a carbohydrate or sugars.
Is that what took them so long to figure it out? Because they assumed it's like, okay, protein based, it's an allergy, so it's got to be something with protein.
Right, and they kept on testing negative. Fortunately, in the group of doctors that was there at UVA was Dr. Tina Merritt, she's now in Arkansas. She actually had this disease, didn't know what it was, but was involved in creating the test for it, which is called an alpha-gal 1,3 tick panel.
When were the symptoms kicking up when somebody would eat red meat?
That's the unique thing. If you get stung by a bee or you eat peanut butter, you'll react right away. This has a type 2 delay reaction to it, so it could be 3 to 6 to 8 hours later if you ingest it. Now, if it's injected, it would be an immediate reaction, or if you would take a pill, it would probably be a more immediate reaction. And there's also a fume component to it. So if you go to a barbecue, the first thing is...
Wait, so I can inhale this stuff?
Yes. Because it's a sugar, the first thing that's burned off in meat are sugars.
Right.
That's what helps create the
smoke and the crust, and the caramelizing.
Exactly.
Right.
So there's a subgroup of people who will react to the fume aspect of it. So it's a life-changing.
And you don't even know
disease.
You don't even know what it is. You're at a barbecue.
No, it's
one
not
day.
like it's Lyme disease where you may get you may get the circle, the mark, or the migraine.
Right. You get a visible. Okay.
Right.
I can look this up.
You have no idea.
Wow. It's growing, isn't it?
Yes, it's in now 39 states, including Alaska, which is, we believe.
How bad to the bone tough a tick do you have to be to survive Alaska?
Not that, because
No?
I think it's changed, and with bird migration, I think that may be contributing to the spread. So one of the things that I focused in on was just the bird migration and the importance of what I call tick airports, which are backyard bird feeders. There is a correlation.
We're hearing the same lecture with the avian flu with backyard feeders. That's exactly right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing with the backyard bird feeders is, this is the way I see it occurring, or I've observed it occurring, when migrating birds and year-round birds are attracted to our bird feeders. They're carrying these ticks into our backyard. There are other mammals that are small mammals that are attracted to those bird feeders too, and they're also carrying ticks.
Right.
The whole misnomer of it's always carried by a deer is not true. Most of your tick-borne diseases are from your smaller mammals. They're from your chipmunks, your mice, your squirrels, your rabbits.
Those ratty squirrels.
And then if you take a look at what's occurring, especially in the last 3 years because of the pandemic, you have more and more people who are pet owners.
That's true. I didn't even think about it.
And cats and dogs are attracted to those areas because, especially sporting breed dogs,
Right?
and they're the ones that are bringing the ticks into your home. Now, the interesting thing that I actually 6 weeks ago spoke with Dr. Ben Beard, who's the director of the CDC vector-borne disease, in a little over an hour phone meeting with him, was I presented him with the facts that potentially the reason why we're seeing a dramatic increase in tick-borne diseases transferred to humans are our pets. It's called a gap in the world of tick-borne diseases. Let's look for the gap, solve the gap,
Right.
and then we can lower the amount of cases.
How difficult was it for you to get people's ear? Because I'm just a dad. In your mind, you're a dad trying to help daughter, and you're gathering all this information.
One of the things that I used to my advantage was actually I'm a dad and I'm looking for answers.
Right.
Because I've spoken to incredible people who have won, like Dr. Kerry Mellis, who won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah,
prize. I mentioned that to you.
Yeah, you've told me some names, and I'm like, you're talking in a high rent district.
Yes.
Are they catching on? Do you feel
Yes.
like they're
Yes.
starting to get this
Yes.
is a dangerous thing, and it's coming from this one type of tick,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to get worse?
Yes, it's going to get worse because there right now no tick management programs here, at least in Pennsylvania, that I can see that are relevant. We spend more money on the cattle tick in the Rio Grande than we do here in Pennsylvania to protect people.
And it would protect us from the alpha gal and also from Lyme disease.
And the scary thing, too, about Lyme disease, my daughter's doctor, Dr. Scott Cummings, presented at the AAAI conference in San Francisco in 2019 that they found that the black-legged tick, which transmits Lyme, can also transmit alpha-gal.
So it can jack you up twice.
Right. And what I'm really concerned about now with regards to that, you can have Lyme and alpha-gal. When you take a look at the medicines that most doctors treat Lyme patients with, and if they don't know that person has alpha-gal and never tested them for alpha-gal,
Mm-hmm.
it can contain they do contain mammalian-derived ingredients, which would make a person's medical condition a lot worse and continue to go downhill.
That's going to trigger.
Right.
Yeah.
And the medical model would say, well, this is just Herxstein. You're just having a reaction to the Lyme being brought up, and that is not the case.
Is the medical establishment first to say, ooh, there may be something there, or is it first to say, well, we have already found that? Because I got a feeling you were swimming uphill with some of these people.
Yes. Well, I try to break it down and simplify it as best I can. I say, like, for instance, doxycycline is the normal medicine you give somebody first off with Lyme. And the only form of that would be safe for somebody who has Lyme and alpha-gal is in the liquid form. And 99.9% of the doctors here in Pennsylvania do not know that.
So your job is to
educate,
get the word out.
Yes.
How can people get in touch with you, or where would you direct them if they have questions about this?
Right now,
because what you just said, you could have had somebody go, oh my God, that describes what's going on. I eat meat and I get sick and I maybe have been outside. And Western PA, man.
Yes.
We're outside playing in the woods all the time.
Absolutely.
Where do you direct them?
I would direct them to our main site. We have two sites I help run, which are the largest sites in the world for alpha-gal support. It's called Alpha-Gal Support Non-Public. And the second one is called the Alpha-Gal Kitchen. The Alpha-Gal Kitchen is just focuses on foods that are safe, recipes that are safe, and how to prepare them safely. Because even if you cohabitate with a family member who doesn't have alpha-gal, they cook bacon, you wake up, you walk into that kitchen, you could have a reaction.
That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
It's very challenging for hospitals because a lot of the alpha-gal patients, we found hospitals can't actually safely feed them even if they're not in for something, they're told to bring their own food in. Which, if you think about the medical model, they're supposed to be the ones who know everything.
Yeah, but you're applying logic.
Right.
And you're expecting that lime jello with the carrot slivers isn't going to make you sick, but in fact...
Right, and Jello, when I found out what was wrong with my daughter, what do you give a child who has an upset stomach? Jello. And Jello contains bovine.
Yeah.
I actually broke down and cried, Eddie.
Yeah. You're going to keep us up to speed with this, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. I really appreciate it. I've been reading up a little on it. It's like, man, people need to know this. We know about Lyme disease. We know that, but this is something altogether new. Tim? What?
May I add one thing?
You can add all you want.
Okay.
I'd rather listen to you than me.
Talking to Ben Beard from the CDC, there are 2 points. He had agreed to send the EPA a formal letter asking that a warning label be put on pet protection products. And here's why.
Flea collars and dips and stuff, right?
Yes. Because I actually took the time to read the inside labels of inserts of these products. The way those pet protection products work is they first repel the tick within a certain period of time. So if you have your pet, you let them out in the evening, they pick up a tick. You let that tick in you let that dog in your bed or your cat in your bed. That tick's going to be repelled. The tick only knows one thing: to find another host to survive.
Right.
27 to 34% of the cases, at least in alpha gal, because I talk to between 3 and 8 people a week, occur that way. I'm going to assume the same thing is occurring with Lyme disease, because the tick is first repelled. It's only killed, and if you listen to your own veterinarian, they will tell you if the tick bites the pet, it will die.
Right.
But what they're leaving out is if it doesn't,
and just
it's repels
and splits,
right,
it's going to bite you.
Absolutely. So I wanted to make that clear. The other thing that Dr. Ben Beard forwarded me to was a study that was done by the CDC in 2011 that indicates if you're a pet owner, you should not allow your pet in your bed or bedroom if you have any type of immune disease and live in a tick endemic area. I consider the entire state of Pennsylvania a tick endemic area.
And you're absolutely right. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
Promise?
Absolutely.
It's Teleforum on Beaver County Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to Beaver County Radio, created by local people in the St. Barnabas studio. 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
With gas prices as high as they are, there is only one thing to do, and that's buy a car from Beaver Valley Auto Mall. If you're driving an older gas-guzzling clunker, by trading up to one of several vehicles in stock rated at over an estimated 30 and in some cases 40 miles per gallon on the highway, the savings and how much you're currently spending on gas will go a long way toward paying for your next car. You almost can't afford not to buy a car right now from Beaver Valley Auto Mall. Depending on what you drive,